Hello. Trying to drink some tea before we get started. Always does this to me. Don't know why. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Give me a second. I want to be able to answer questions and things. Um, there we are. So if I can't see the chat, it's hard to see it on mobile device. So if I can see. Cool. Let me know who's all watching. Thank you, Cornelia. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you. About my hair. It actually needs cutting. Hey, how are you? Okay. So, in about 15 minutes, it always does that. Ah, it's annoying. Oh, found it. All right, good, cool. Welcome. For those of you who are new to this channel or watching me for the first time, welcome. My name is Nakia. I'm also known as a BeautyCutright. I have peppermint tea as well. I'm also known as BeautyCutright. And here is where I share everything about beauty, fashion, and fitness. I did have a separate fitness channel, but I decided to bring it over here, and I'm starting something new there. And when I do, you guys will know about it. I also run a community, a support community of women who all support each other in our endeavors when it comes to our lifestyle. Doesn't matter what it is, if it has to do with finance, money, weight loss, mental health, emotional health, just everything. And it's an amazing group of women. We're about 300 plus strong, probably a little higher than that because I haven't checked in the past couple of weeks. But yeah, so this is what I do here on this channel. Most of the time when I do share beauty, it's on my natural hair in most cases. And not only that, I'm starting to bring in business and finance because I do teach those aspects too. More so privately, but I'm going to start sharing it with you. So if you saw in the comment box below that I said I was sharing the wealth, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sharing it with you guys before we actually do get started, because I kind of wanted to share my aspect of it, which will bring us into who my mentor is. So those of you who have been watching me for a while and been paying attention for the past couple of weeks, I have an investor mentor. She helps me invest in the stock market, and that's what this live is going to be about. So if you're interested in actually speaking with us, being able to talk, see our face, I mean, you're going to be able to do that on live anyway, but you wouldn't be able to like ask questions using your voice, the audio of whatever mobile device or computer you're using. If you do want to participate in that and want to ask us questions, especially Dr. Marcia Dawson, you can definitely look down below in the description box. There's a link for you to join in, and it will kick out the link to you so that you're able to get into it. You do get a free gift if you participate in everything in that. But this whole live is meant for you to learn something new if you don't know. And for those of you who do know, it's just kind of like an added support. Like, this is what Nakia is doing. This is what BeautyCutright is doing at the moment. So the title says how I increase my net worth investing in businesses. I invest in businesses in two different ways, but let me give you guys a kind of a spiel. I have to write stuff down because as an educator and a person who kind of has a slight attention deficit disorder, I can be all over the place at times. So there was a saying that I learned from Brian Bing, actually, when he talked about fear. It's not the fear of evidence appearing real. Fear is the evidence of some, well, whatever. It's fail early and responsibly. That's his point of view. And that makes a lot of sense to me. I've never really been a person who's afraid of failure, because failure means it's an opportunity for you to learn. And I think that has a lot to do with being an educator. But this saying was, the more you know, the more you earn. Invest in self and you will do well. It's about educating yourself about how money really works and following a plan or strategy to get your financial goals in order and make it successfully. So just to give you guys a quick spiel, I'm an employer, I am a business owner, and I am a business partner of several different businesses. So I am in all aspects of entrepreneurship and life when it comes to money, how we get our money. Your employer, you make money when you do things for an employer. I'm an educator. I teach at a college. I teach fashion design. I teach manufacturing. I teach marketing. I teach social media marketing. I teach digital, graphic design, arts. I teach a lot of things in the arts at College of Creative Studies. So those of you who live in the Detroit, Michigan area, that's where I'm at. I teach there, and I usually teach at the Plymouth location too, for those of you who live in Plymouth or Canton or anywhere in that area of Michigan. I am a business owner, so I own several different businesses of my own where I either sell products or provide a particular service. Those of you who know, I do run an online school, wig making. I also make wigs mainly for a very small and private clientele that deal with hair loss and alopecia. So that's what I do. And I also am a business partner to several different businesses. One which is in South Africa, where I am, part owner, and I train the manufacturer to make wigs. So we have a lot of clientele in that area, so I may be out there again in March for training again, but I'll be out of town in February for that. So I know exactly what it feels like to be an employer, to be a business owner, and to be a business partner. So those are the ways and how I'm able to get my money. That's me. I know there are some of you that are retired, or you may be working for someone, or you may be in the middle of trying to build your own hustle per se. And when I say hustle, it starts off as a hustle, and then eventually, once you get to learn how business works, it becomes your business. And I'm going to be talking about stuff on that. I hope to share as much as I can. I'm a very busy person. I try. So that's how I make my money. But net worth has everything to do with how much you own and what you owe. And when you subtract what you owe from what you own, that's your net worth. That tells you exactly how much you're worth. And Dr. Marcia Dawson of Bookworm Investment Club, she's going to be talking about the information that she has done research on, and things that we as, and I'm saying significantly as Black women, I mean, this can go for anybody, but I know her focus is mostly with Black women, and our net worth and how we're totally unaware and, for a lack of better words, irresponsible about our personal wealth as women. She's going to be talking about that. But I can tell you the steps that I took to increase my net worth. So the first thing I did was I calculated what it was. I got all my bills and everything together, pulled it all out. What did I owe? What did I own? Subtract, and that's how I found out what my number. The first go round, it was a big shocker. It was a high number, but not as high as I thought it would be. And when I did it again, so last year of July is when I do it. That's what Dr. Marcia Dawson actually suggests that us as her students do, because she does teach us how to invest in the stock market. And you're going to get to learn how she does that. But I did in July, and then now here January 2020, it's increased by $500. Now that's not a lot to some people when they think about it, but that's a lot to me because that means that I'm going in the right direction. It's nothing like, you know, looking at your net worth and looking at the numbers and realizing when you come back to tracking it again, it's lower. You don't want that to happen. But there are ways that you can increase your net worth, and she's going to talk about it, but I'm going to tell you real quickly how I did it. One, calculated my net worth. Once I know what that number is, I was able to build a strategy to increase it within the next six months. That was the idea of what I was doing. Second thing I did, shift money back into my pocket. I did a video about this where I talked about, I'm keeping time. Yeah, I talked about how you can do that. It's called income shifting. And Brian Bean is the go-getter of that, income shifting. I'll put a link in the description box below about, you know, that with Making Wealth Real Financial, which I am a member of. They help me track everything when it comes to my businesses, so I don't have to worry about taxes. Most of us are not well educated on how taxes and money works, and I want to share that like now and as soon as possible. It's 2020. You guys need to know. But that's what I did. I shifted money back into my pocket by paying attention to what bills that I was paying late. We got to be realistic about it, which that incurs late fees. That's money you're just letting go out the door. I mentioned that. Other ways where you can look at where your debt is and start getting a strategy plan to drop that down, because taxes and debt are your highest expense, whether you believe that or not. And then looking at things that I'm paying for that I don't necessarily use. Like there's like subscriptions to certain things that I don't even use. I don't even watch TV. So like, I mean, why was I paying for Netflix and Stars and, you know, just paying attention to those things and shifting that money back into your pocket. So that I did a video on that. You can check that out and I'll put that down below. The third thing I did is I reevaluated my W-4 because I am an employee. I do work for a college. So if you do, or if you are an employee and you work for someone, we don't even realize that we're filling our W-4 out almost incorrectly because we don't know how it works. We don't know the system of it. What I'm going to do is do a webinar on that and show you exactly how to fill it out according to your needs. And I'll explain the little things that they kind of trick you into doing it one way so that they can still continue to get more taxes from you if you're an employee. And some of you probably already know this, but there are steps that you can take in order to get your tax money on the front end, because they are taking more taxes than you really should be paying. And they say that. They're very clear on that. If you go to irs.com, they tell you that. And it's beneficial to you to have a business or a home-based business in order to offset that, get that money in, and then you pay them a lower percentage of taxes. This is what rich people, wealthy people do. So while we're just watching them do this, the problem is we're not actually trying to figure out or learn the strategies of how they're doing it so it can benefit us. We don't have to be a business owner. We don't have to, you know, have some extravagant thing going on in our life. There are ways that you can get that money on the front end so that you can invest in yourself in a better way. And then last but not least, see what time it is, because I have to get in on here because she's going to ask me questions. I only got 1 minute. Last thing I did, I started building me a home-based business, because if you have a business, that's a tax write-off. So we'll talk more on that, but I wanted to give you guys a quick spiel as to how I was able to increase my net worth. $500. I know to some people they might like, ooh, $500, but to me that's a lot compared to. It just lets me know that I'm going in the right direction, and that Dr. Marcia Dawson is amazing at helping with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log in, make sure she can get in. If you are interested in asking questions and things like that, I can see on this computer if you ask questions, but more than likely it's probably better for you guys to be able to ask right within the platform. We're using Zoom for this, so I'm going to just kind of zoom in a little bit and start logging myself in. She's probably in herself, so I'm going to copy the Command C, the meeting ID, and that's the meeting ID. I have this on my computer because if you have a webcam, you don't want people. Well, you guys know. There she is.
Hey.
You're live. Oh, you're playing music. Oh, you can't hear me. She couldn't
Did
hear
you
me.
have it on?
No, I'm talking and like, oh, she can't even hear me.
Turn my music off.
All right, so we're live on YouTube as well. So hopefully people are able to get in. If not, we'll just read questions from YouTube. If you guys got questions or anything, so if you see me looking at you like weird, that means I'm talking to you guys. So let's give it some time.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Awesome. Some really good information, guys. So we got a lot of people. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see.
I'm gonna put you up here.
Okay, see me.
And I'm going to push record because we can get started. It is 7:02.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's my recording button. Hello, hello, hello.
Were you able to find the record button? Because I'm like,
to record on the computer.
oh, there it is. You are recording. You're recording.
Okay, that's not what I want. This is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Hey, everybody. And welcome to our free training. Everybody playing? Okay, let me get this out of the way. I can put this up this way. Okay. And see, I can't see a chat. Can you see the chat on your Zoom, Nakia?
I probably can find a way to do it. Yep, I can see it.
Okay. Because I'm going to have you, if there are any questions that pop up, you can let me know what they are.
Okay, cool.
So welcome again to our Friday webinar or training about, and we're going to talk about net worth. Thank you for joining me, and thank you, Nakia, for also joining me.
Yay.
My partner in power.
Yes.
So before we get started, let me find out where you guys are from.
We got some North Carolinas.
All right.
Wait. They were saying it in the chat. Like, where are they? They're saying hello, hello. And Goldsboro,
North Carolina. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll see how many people. Virginia. Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston.
All right.
Yeah, we got some. Because you remember you're on two platforms. You're on Zoom and you're live on my channel.
Oh.
Yeah, Chicago. She's from Chicago, guys. Indianapolis. Edwina. I think I know Edwina.
Another Chicagoan.
Yeah.
Welcome. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So we have people represented from North Carolina, Virginia, Chicago, and
Atlanta.
other places.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about increasing your net worth. We're going to talk about a couple of other things. And first, now that you've told me where you are from, I'm going to let you know a little bit about me and who I am. My name is Marcia Dawson. I am the creator and the founder of Bookworm Investment Club. And it's a platform that I use to teach women who are near retirement how to make money in the stock market. I'm a long-term investor. And what that means is that I invest in companies and I tend to hold them for maybe 2, 3, 4 years, sometimes even 10 years. As long as they're making me money, I will hold them in my portfolio. Now, full disclosure, I'm also a trader. I don't talk about that too often, but I can make money short-term and long-term. I've been investing in the stock market as a long-term investor for the past 26 years. This is year 26. And as a trader, I'm going on 6 months. So I'm new at trading, but I enjoy it. It's also about investing. So I just started, I thought that I'd do something different, started trading short term. I'm also a pediatrician. I've been practicing for 30 years, and I do have an exit strategy the next 2 years. So how many of you guys that are on the free training are close to retirement? Or either in retirement? New question.
I'm close. I'm not really close.
Oh,
I'm kind of.
you are far from close.
I
Already retired? Okay. Okay. So before we get started, let me do my disclaimer. And I have to do that because I have an attorney who tells me I have to do this. So I'm not a financial advisor or anything related to finances. So because of that, when I mention stocks, and I'm going to be mentioning a couple of stocks, it's not a recommendation to sell or to buy. When I discuss stocks, it's for information or educational purposes only, or what I've done. Simply because investing in stocks is risky. You can lose money as well as make money. The other reason why I put this up here is because I wanted to let you know that anyone can be an investor. It is a learned skill. So even though you may not know anything about finances, or you don't think you know anything about finances, you can learn to invest. And that's the beauty of this. So what are the goals? We're going to talk about net worth, what it is, why it's important, especially for those of us who are in retirement or near retirement. And then we're going to talk about how investing can increase your net worth. So next question for you guys. This is going to be a discussion. It's not going to be me talking and giving you a lecture. I want you all to make this a conversation between you and I and Nakia. So how many of you all know what a net worth is?
Some of them probably already found out.
Who doesn't know? Who doesn't know what net worth is?
They probably know now. I said something.
If you've been a part of Bookworm Investment Club, you know what your net worth is, and you know why it's important. But I know that some of you probably don't know, so that's what we're going to talk about. When we talk about net worth, it is simply a tool to help you discover what how much your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And it is useful to us because especially when we get near retirement, we want to have as high a net worth as possible, especially if we don't want to have to go back to work. Because if you have to go back to work, you're not in retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we already talked about that. Heading into retirement, you need a high net worth. And why? Because you don't want to run out of money. Who wants to run out of money? In fact, that is the number one issue that people think about when they get into retirement. Mm-hmm. It is not death. It's running out of money in retirement. And so this is one thing that we don't want to do. And so knowing your net worth, increasing your net worth before you get to retirement, and maintaining your net worth as you're in retirement is the goal of anyone who wants to live comfortably. Mm-hmm. Actually live more than comfortably in retirement. So let's look at a couple of things. How do you calculate your net worth?
Take all your assets.
That's a question.
Yeah.
This is a conversation, guys. How do we calculate our net worth?
We take all our assets, all our liabilities, subtract it, and that gives us the number.
Yes. And all of your assets includes your cash, all the cash you have hidden in shoe boxes, under the mattress, in your checking and savings account, in your emergency funds, CDs, money market, the value of your home if you paid it off, or your car if you paid it off, and you can look that up in the Kelley Blue Book. Mm-hmm. If you're a collectible of art, stamps, all that's value. That goes into your asset categories. If you have annuities, cash value life insurance, your brokerage accounts where you hold your stocks, your 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, and pension, all of that's your assets. Mm-hmm. And then you have on the other side your liabilities. So if you still have your mortgage or you're still paying on your car, home equity loans, student loans, credit card bills and unpaid bills, those are your liabilities. And all you're doing is you're subtracting your your liabilities from your assets, and you're going to come up with a number. That's your net worth. And so you say, so what? This is my net worth. Well, let's do this. Let's compare net worth and what the studies show your net worth is compared to others. Now, I don't want you to freak out when you see this.
People probably already freaking out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I specifically chose my ages because the women that I work with are in the ages of 45 all the way up to 70. Mm. So when we look at the average net worth, now, even though that number is high, 27,000, the average net worth takes into consideration everybody, including very wealthy people. Mm-hmm. And that's why the average net worth is usually a little bit skewed and so high versus your medium. When we look at net worth, most of us will look at the median net worth. Mm-hmm. And what that is saying you're taking that 124,000, half of the people are going to be on that side of 124, the other half are going to be on this side. And so this is why we use median when we talk about net worth. So anyone like Brenda, myself, this is what our net worth average would be if we were near retirement. $1,066,000. Hello?
I want to be there.
Get quiet on me, guys. Yes, yes. But medium net worth is 224. So this is what most people are in this range right here. Working on it. Yes, Brent, we are all we let me tell you, when it comes to net worth, we are all working to increase our net worth. That's a goal. That's for everybody. And so we use the goal net worth. When you look at your salary, if you're still working, if you say, well, what should my net worth be after you've calculated? If you are in the age of 55 to 64, 6 times your gross annual salary. So if you're in this range and you're still working and you're making $100,000 a year, your gross, that's your gross salary, your net worth should be about $600,000. This is for informational purposes only. Please don't let this bring you down.
Because people are giving the like scare face emojis and covering their face like, oh Lord.
No, seriously. This is why I do this, because I want people to know about your net worth. This is important because it just tells you what your wealth is like. It's an indication of what your wealth is. And once you start doing your net worth, you don't do it just one time. You want to make a habit of doing it at least once a year so that you can see your net worth growing. I personally decided to do mine twice a year because I want to see what my investments are doing. What about you, Nakia? How often do you do yours?
Yeah, because I mentioned that to them earlier before I got online, that's what you recommend that you do it. It's twice a year. So like every 6 months you look into, you do the same thing all over again. And I had mentioned that it had increased by 500. So that was happy. I mean, increase is better than decrease.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And so I choose the month of January and July.
Same
and the
here.
reason I say January is because we're getting our stuff ready for taxes. So you're pulling your information together as it is. Use that information to figure out your net worth. But then I also do it in July. You don't have to do it that frequently, but at least do it once a year. And what you want to do is to see it increase. If you're not happy with that number, that gives you something to work on. And we'll talk about that later. So now this is in general, your net worth. Now I'm going to show you information about us Black women and net worth. What is out there? If you think that this is like the information that I'm showing you next has to do with what's net worth when it comes to Black women. What's out there in the internet streets. So hold on tight.
That number looks so low.
Yes. Now this study comes from Race, Women, and Wealth. And this was actually in Black Enterprise back in January of 2018. And what has been reported is this. Single Black women who are of ages 40 to 59 with a bachelor's degree, these are college-educated women, have a net worth of $6,000 to $9,500.
I'm glad my number's a little higher though. But that's low.
Yeah, that it's pretty shocking.
Yeah, okay. Brenda, right?
What did she say?
Now I'm feeling good.
She said, now I'm feeling good. Because your number ain't there.
No, because let me just tell you this really quickly. Because the first free class that y'all gave, I went back. Remember, I told you my Pepsi story.
Yeah. Wait. Tell us your Pepsi story.
Okay. Was the thing about I went and figured out how much I was spending a year on Pepsi. And I told you about that and how I'm gonna have to do the little math real quick again. But the bottom line was at 189 times 5, that's $9.45 times 7, that's 66.15. That's how much money I spent a week times 52. That's $3,439.08 a year I was spending on Pepsis.
Mm-hmm.
I have not spent that since we talked. Because
she put that number together.
See, I had a little more research. I did a thing, I call it getting real with my money. So now I can account for it. I did not know I was paying for Kindle Unlimited. I did not know I had magazine subscriptions that were digital that I was not seeing.
Exactly.
It took me a whole month to account for every penny that I have coming in or going out.
Yes.
Once I did that, I then got real with my money. Okay. And I found out that I was spending, without knowing it, over $600 a month unaware.
See?
That's just the things that I didn't really, because of the little drips and drabs of, subscriptions I didn't know I had, Netflix, Hulu, you name it. I cut my cable off. I went from a $300-something cable bill down to $54 for internet only and bought me a Roku.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a Roku too.
You are working on it, and that's because you sat down and figured out, okay, this is my net worth. You didn't like it, and you started doing something about it.
Oh, but see, here's the thing, and that's the thing too. When you can have a net worth and still feel bad, because my net worth, and I don't mind telling you, my net worth right now is $100,000. That's my net worth, without doing anything different as of right. And I checked it because I knew this class was coming. It's $100,000 as of now. But here's the thing: back in September, when I did it, it was $30,000 less.
Oh wow!
That's in September. In September.
Oh wow! Because that's when we did the. Yep, that's around the time we did the. Okay.
That is phenomenal.
That $30,000 represents work that I did for people and money I recouped that I'm not spending now. That's family members that I'm no longer paying mortgages for, et cetera, things like that just went back. And that's just in September. So I know I'm going to be on track pretty soon.
Good. Excellent.
Yes. And that's just from what you did in the class telling us to account for things. So that's
account for network.
Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You don't know the number.
Us single Black women who are 60 plus with a bachelor's degree, according to this study, it's $11,000. And honestly, that's disheartening.
A few people on YouTube said it. That's very.
So there are things that we can do to make this better. And the first thing is knowing what your net worth is. Taking the time and sitting down. What happened there?
Oh, sometimes if you're doing something, start right. It might be because somebody's like, I don't know. Okay. It might be. I've had that happen before. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Okay.
So the thing about it is, what can we do about that? And the studies also did say that we don't own enough of the assets, the cash. We don't own enough of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. And we have too much debt, especially when it comes to, and the major thing that they pointed out was this, student loans. Yeah. But there is hope. There are other solutions we can look at. Now, how many of you guys have heard of the multiple streams of income?
They've heard of it. I've heard of it. I'm doing it right now.
I'm doing it.
Brenda's
Okay.
doing it.
Let's talk about what we can do to increase our net worth besides cutting expenses like Brenda did, seeing where money is going that can be put into other places. If we're working, the main income is earned income. But you can also get income from stocks, especially if you are investing in stocks that give you dividends, or even if you're investing in stocks that you get money from the increase in the price, buy low, sell high. Mm-hmm. That's what I teach, and that's why it's in red.
Yep.
If you decide, let me try my hand at being a landlord, you can buy some rental property, get rental income from that. You can also use the very little income that you get in interest from savings account and money market account and CDs. It's very little money. If you decide to start a business, you can get income from that or royalty income. If you start using someone else's intellectual properties and you have to pay them, those are streams of income that you can start thinking about in addition to finding out where money is going. What are your expenses? Paying down debt sooner, or as much as you can. So how do we do these two things in red? How can we capitalize on 2 of the 7? And that's investing in the stock market. Now, as I said before, investing is risky. You can certainly lose money. Did anyone notice what the stock market did today?
Do I want to see it?
Take a look at it. For the last, since 2011, the market has been going up. Up. And those of us who have invested in the market have done very well. Now, we're actually due for a correction or a crash. Now, nobody knows when it's going to happen. And we can't live our lives saying, not investing and being scared to invest, because scared money does not do anything. And so we choose, or at least I choose, to invest in the stock market. And not only that, but to teach women how to invest in the stock market. And I do that with a program that I developed online. And that program is called the Stock Starter Course. And I specifically work with women who are of my age, retirement age, close to retirement, because sometimes investing can be intimidating, especially at our age, because sometimes that confidence is just not there. That fear is there. But we can certainly learn how to invest. It is never, ever, ever too late to learn how to invest in the stock market. We may invest differently than a person who is 20 or 30 years old investing, but we can certainly start. So the Stock Starter course is a course that I developed. It is an online course, and it's 9 weeks of coaching with me. We meet every Tuesday from 7 to 8, and the course involves going through modules. We talk about investing just from the beginning, what investing is, all the way up until how you buy stocks, sell stocks, and manage your stock portfolio. So it includes modules, we have videos, downloadable worksheets, we have a Facebook group. Funny enough that many people don't like our age are not on the Facebook group. They like to email each other, and we've been doing well with that. But importantly, we have weekly coaching calls with me. So I am coaching you through this entire process. This process includes 3 pillars: educating you about the stock market, examining who you are as an investor, because based on who you are as an investor, that's the type of stock portfolio we're going to buy or build. And once we figure out the type of investor you are, that's when the third step is, and we start executing. So when we educate, I talk about the stock market, why you want to invest in the stock market, how to invest, how do you make the money. And then we get a brokerage account for you. Every person has a different criteria that they want to follow when it comes to getting a brokerage account. So we individually figure out which brokerage account is good for you, whether it's Robinhood, whether it's something like Stockpile to start off with, whether it's like Fidelity, TD Ameritrade. We figure out which is best for you. And then we start picking your stocks and building your stock watch list. And in the second phase, we talk about you as an investor. What type of an investor are you? Are you more of a conservative investor? Are you an aggressive investor or a moderate investor? Because that's the type of portfolio we're going to need to build for you. And then those stocks that we picked in the first section, we start to analyze those stocks to figure out which stocks will fit into the type of portfolio that you want to build. When you analyze a stock, it's a 5-step process, and it's an easy process to learn. Once you learn that process, you'll know how to or decide which stock is good for you, because not every stock fits into the portfolio that you want to build. The key is to build a profitable stock portfolio. And so there's certain steps you need to follow to find out, is this stock has a possibility of being profitable? That's the kind of stock you want to buy. We don't just pick a stock just because we heard it's a hot stock of the week. Nope. It's a process. That's why it's called Bookworm. Because we read, then we research, and then we buy. And once we start buying and building your stock portfolio, you also have to know when it's time to let some stocks go. Because if the stock is not doing its job of making you money, it needs to go bye-bye. Especially if there is something going on with the company and they're not going to be turning around too soon. So we learn how to figure out which stocks to let go. And then finally, you learn how to manage your portfolio, which is a big deal. We have to learn how to rebalance our portfolio after we build it. So we're taking you from a beginner investor all the way down to an investor that's able to manage their stock portfolio. So if there are any other questions about the program, and if I can help you to get from that beginner investor to an investor that's buying their stocks, building the portfolio, and managing that portfolio, I'd like to see if I can help you do that. You can go to BookwormInvestmentClub.com and book a call. And we'll talk, and we'll see how we can help you go from that beginner to that.
A newbie to nobie.
That used to be the tag.
Newbie to nobie. No. Now,
so are there any questions out there?
I want to make this statement though, because I know some of you are probably like, I'm not in retirement or near retirement. And I'm talking about my 20s, 30s, early 40s. Even though she works with me, so and I'm not near retirement. That doesn't mean you shouldn't look into this. That doesn't mean you shouldn't look into this if you're younger and you're not near retirement. That doesn't mean you shouldn't look into this. Not necessarily not look into it for someone else, but you should look into it even for yourself. Building early you have a better chance of that net worth being way larger than what the numbers are actually showing for you personally. So don't think, oh, I have to be near retired to invest in the stock market. We know there are people younger than us that are investing in the stock market. So she's going to show you how to do it step by step. And yeah, because I don't want people who are like younger thinking like, well, how is this going to help me? The same way it helps somebody that's in retirement. Increase
Well,
your net worth.
see, the other thing, of course, the younger you start investing, you have that time factor. You have that time factor to ride up the ups and downs of the stock market. But if you couple that with learning how to buy stocks that are going to be profitable for you, that you increase the chance of building a very profitable stock portfolio. In fact, what I've done is my family and I decided to start a investment club. So my brothers, my sisters, all my nieces and nephews who are in their 20s and 30s are in the investment club, and they have taken the information that they have learned in the investment club, and they're building their own personal stock portfolios. So it is true that the earlier you start, the better your chances of being able to retire when you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is still good for anybody.
Yeah, someone asked the question, if I'm on stockpile, this is Jen 0805. If I'm on stockpile, can you still help me? I still need guidance, I believe.
Yes.
She got the...
So, okay, let me go back here. So who was it, Ginger?
It's Jen 0805, that's her.
Okay, Ginger, you already have your brokerage account, so that is good. So you've already gotten to this step here. But that may not, even though you're with stockpile, which is good for beginners, as you grow your portfolio, you might want to step up to another type of broker. Stockpile is good. Many of my clients start off with stockpile, but then they graduate to another type of broker. So yes, we can still help you too.
Yep. Anybody got questions? I can see it on YouTube. Okay.
And I have the chat open now. I can see the chat.
Okay. And her name is Jennifer. That's her Jennifer. Name. I just saw Jen 0805. So thanks, Jennifer, for that question.
So let me ask you all this. Has anybody calculated their net worth? Has anybody sat down and done it yet?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, excellent. That was Brenda, right?
Can I just mention something, please?
Sure.
Okay. I didn't tell you guys my net worth to brag. I mentioned that because when we got a chance to comment, I wanted to tell you this. The first time I heard Miss Dawson speak, I ran around my house screaming. I mean, literally, I'm not joking, because it was like light bulbs went off. I'm an accidental investor because I have fidelity. I did not even know I had a brokerage account, which I do. I'm one of them people, I said it, I forget it. I got money, I'm making money in my sleep. Thank you, Jesus. That ain't number God. However, what I figured out just from that one meeting with you is that in the last 6 years, more than $1 million has gone through my hands. What if I had met you 6 years ago and had invested that money? Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, as we discussed, the reason I'm waiting so that I can talk to you is all I'm waiting for is that divorce to be final. Because when that divorce is final, it is on and popping. So I'm doing what I need to do to keep things straight. right now.
Yep.
But as soon as that divorce is final, at the end of this year,
Okay.
I'm at the next level.
Okay.
Because it's not that I don't have money coming in. The problem is I had so much money coming in. And this is the part I don't know how your whole program works, but I did look at the outline. There needs to be a part. It's like what I do with Dave Ramsey. I do a thing called Beyond Ramsey, because we have a cultural thing that we say we ain't gonna let them people take our money.
Yeah.
People have to do a paradigm shift about making their money work for them as opposed to them working for their money.
Mhm.
So for me, I should have retired 10 times over. I did plan. I retired at 49. Don't never have to work another day in my life. However, I'm so busy taking care of the whole United States of America.
Yeah.
Because culturally, that's what you do when you got
military.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know, Brenda Warren cut off all the financial vampires and told them it is now my for no more until I get this together. So I am working to change the way I spend the money that I am making in my sleep from my multiple sources of income, and not giving it away, as opposed to investing it for myself and for my kids' future. So the potential for me to really be set in my old age, because now I'm taking care of myself thanks to Nikia. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Is awesome. But I never would have got there had I not had that one conversation with you guys when she shared her mentor. I'd still been just giving money away with nothing to show for it. I mean, I actually have cash on hand that's ridiculous. And before, I always thought it was cool just to have a couple $100 in the bank. But no more. Now I got thousands. So, and that's just from cutting folks off, because culturally, because I thought I had to give it.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem no more. I'm doing a mindset reset.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
The best year ever.
Consistency over time has provided for stuff to grow with my 401k and all the stuff that's going on, my IRAs and all the stuff I had. I just said it and forget it. What if I had managed it and knew it? And here now I know I got it, but I don't know what to do with it to make it do better, because I never educated myself, because I just let somebody else handle it. Well, now it's time for me to get totally real with my money and learn how to manage it so that I can grow into the future. And you're going to help me do that as soon as I get this divorce file.
I'm here for you.
I know.
I'm here for you. This is going to be a treat.
I'm ready.
You're ready.
So anybody else have any questions?
This second to go around, I have started thinking about. Oh, okay. This will be my. No questions yet.
Okay.
I know, because it's like a slight lag behind like with YouTube. So.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I encourage you that if you want to make this transformation, because that's exactly what it is, give me a call. My calendar is out for the first 2 weeks of February. We can sit down and talk about your goals and what it is you want to achieve, and see how we can help you get there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Good enough. It's 7:43, and I'm done talking. It is Friday, and I know some of you guys want to get out there. I had my stepping music on a little while ago.
Yeah.
So anybody on YouTube? Oh, wait, there's something else I have for you guys. And everyone who has been here or joined on the webinar, let me stop sharing this. We're going to send you a PDF, a Bookworm Investment Club PDF on how to calculate your net worth. Can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what this is going to take you through is you're going to sit down and put your numbers in. All of your assets, all of your liabilities, and figure out
What's your
net worth. Make copies of this so you can start doing it, so you can start tracking your net worth.
Yep.
every 6 months or even once a year. I don't care. Just start tracking it and watch it start to
grow.
increase.
Yep. You guys need a strategy. You need a plan, and that's what she does. She teaches you how to create a strategy and a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're going to be doing next month?
We're going to talk about how to plan to invest.
Okay, how to plan it. Do a plan.
When you start to invest, you've got to have a plan.
I need a new plan.
With anything.
I need a new plan.
Including investing. And so for the month of February, we will talk about starting to plan. Mm-hmm. So I usually send, if you're not on the mailing list, please get on the mailing list, because I do, I send out at least 2 or 3 emails
a week.
Plus I am on Facebook, BookwormInvestmentClub.com. I'm starting to do more lives. So you'll get plenty of information that you need to start investing before you start working with me. Yeah. That's the goal. Come and work with me, and let's get you investing in the stock market.
Yep.
All righty?
Hey. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. So, Nakia, how are we going to send everyone the...
I have the list. I have everybody's list, so I just know how to just send it to them. So if you guys don't know, I help her with a lot of her social media. So for those who were in on the live a little bit earlier before I came on, when I say I invest in other people, I take all of the skill and knowledge that I have, and I use that to invest and help other people build their own businesses. That's how I do it. So that's one of the ways, but I didn't mention too much about it yet, and I am going to do a video on it, but you guys will get the email. I know who you guys are. I know who you are. I see the names and everything, so it's no big deal. Those who signed up, you'll get it too, but if you were on the YouTube, I think it's best that you go right to BookwormInvestmentClub.com. Sign up, book a call, subscribe, get as much information as you can. She's giving and so much information to the point where you are like, forget this. I just need her to just I'm going to book a call, and I'm just going to get the lesson and learn it. And she's going to guide you through it step by step.
Yeah, it's step by step.
And personally too, because everybody's different. Because the other students, I feel like I'm the young bird right now.
The free stuff she provides alone is worth. It's priceless.
Right.
It's just priceless.
Good.
Right.
Thank you. I see Regine has a question. Hi, Regine.
Oh, Regine.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here.
I hear Regine.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I see how you doing. You doing wonderful. I'm so happy to see that. Let me put my face on. I'm so happy to see that.
Wait, which put face on? Oh, okay. I was about to say, what you mean put face on?
Guys, let me introduce you. While you're on, let me introduce you to Regine. She is a fabulous individual that does retreats for Black women.
Ooh, like that idea.
Yes. They just went to Costa Rica. I went to Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Go see
Yes.
Retreats.
Yes. After we get our money right, we need to get ourselves
together, right?
So I'm pleased to be here as a student. And I have 2 questions. The first is your video going to be provided after this I would love to send this to my sister and my niece. That's the first question. And the second question is, how much time, I know, generally speaking, it's as much time as you have or much time as you want to give, but just generally speaking, to learn and then to begin to manage your own stock portfolio, how much time does that take per week or per month? Just average person managing a good amount of money.
I would say if you're going to look at it every week, and this is not me because I'm a little bit obsessive. So I'm looking at my portfolio every day, but you might decide I'm just going to do it like one or two as I'm building my when you first get started. I suggest you should be spending at least maybe a good per week, maybe 1 to 2 hours a day until you get really started.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to see what the market is doing. You want to be really involved in picking the stocks. You want to be very involved in analyzing your stocks. And that's what takes the time, is analyzing your stocks with that 5 steps. But once you get those 5 steps down, you'll be able to sit down and analyze a stock in about 15 to 20 minutes. But it's just that to get to that process, that's going to take you a little bit of time. And then when you're meeting with me, the modules are really self-paced. But you're meeting with me once a week. And my expectation of you when you meet with me is to have the work done.
She's a teacher.
So we're more or less doing a Q&A session. Mm-hmm. What are you having issues with? Plus, you'll be able to email me throughout the week before we even start before we even have the class. Mm-hmm. But expect to at least initially give a good amount of time to learning how to invest.
Understood. Oh, you're muted, Regine. You're muted again.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. So how much money does one need to begin to invest as a newbie investor?
That's why we're going to book a call with me.
Because it's individual.
Yes. We're going to talk about that on the call.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is this video going to be available so I can send to people, or
Yep.
How does that work? Yeah. Okay.
It's already on my channel, BeautyCutright, but it's going to be on her website, and it's also going to be on her YouTube channel as well, Bookworm Investment Club.
Okay.
Yep, it's going to be.
Yeah. So those of you guys who don't know, I do have a YouTube channel, and all of the videos that I do, we put on the YouTube channel, so you can learn about investing from me also there before you sit down and do it on a one-on-one basis with me. So take advantage of that.
Yeah, because she gives some good stock nuggets in there.
Yes.
Yeah, she does. Gives some really good ones.
Okay. Thank you. Good to see you. Congratulations. I'm so happy, so proud.
Thank you, Regine. Okay, any other questions?
No, I'm sending links because people are asking for the link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just making sure everybody can. Okay, there we go. And it's in the description box too, guys. And I'll make sure everything you need to know, links to book a call and to subscribe and all of that will be there. And then just stay tuned for her video to be up on her channel as well. Mm-hmm. And keep in contact with us because she's got some more stuff she wants to talk about.
Oh, yeah. we have things out here. I'm working on, well, we won't say anything just yet, but I'm working on a lot of things. We're going to get us up and running and becoming very active investors. Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
Yep, a community we're going to build for you guys. So you guys know my whole stilo is to share. And if I can get you connected with someone that knows it, this is how I do it. So this is how I invest in people. I share with you the people that share with me. So I know you guys trust me. So if you trust me, then I'm giving you people that you definitely can trust. Mm-hmm. Definitely can trust.
All right. Thank you guys for being here.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Brenda. Regine, Valerie, I know you there. You just kind of like just left me for a minute. I know she there.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good one. Hey,
You too.
Val.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye,
See, there she
Donna.
go. All right, guys. Sorry. Now my face is all in. Sorry. Thank you, guys. We're gonna have another one pretty soon. So we try to do one once a month, and it's going to be teaching you guys on how to build your personal wealth. Your personal wealth is your personal goal, whatever that is. It's your business, and I just kind of feel my only job is to help you get there. It's working for me, so if it's working for me, I want it to work for those who are interested, who don't know, or who know but they're just not sure what the next direction is to go. So I'll be doing more sharing about business and finance and money and investing and stuff as often as I possibly can, guys. Next week, I'm going to be out of town. I'll be in Texas. Yes, I am going to record it, and it is for a business venture. I'm out meeting with investors for a business thing that I'm building out in that area. So I'll share that with you once I know what's going on, because when you're under contracts and NDAs and all that stuff, if you know business, you get what I mean. But I definitely want to help people understand, especially Black women, that you can build a home-based business, a profitable one. And with all of the talents and skills and things that I have, it's time to share it. It's time to invest in you guys. So that's what I want to do. So thank you for, tuning in and watching. For those of you that were able to get in on it, I know that might have been difficult because we were using Zoom. So if you are not a part of my community, please go there and join BeautyCutright.com. That's where you can join a community. It's free to you. It's hundreds of women. We all support each other. We do any and everything when it comes to fitness. A lot of times we're talking a lot about fitness, emotional and mental health, because we have some people who are, licensed and they're professionals. I'm a nutritionist, so there you go. Everything about your lifestyle that you want to improve, there are hundreds of women along with me that are there helping one another. I help them, they help me, we help each other. That's how it goes. So just go to the site. You got BookwormInvestmentClub.com. I'll make sure I link that at the bottom of this video too. BeautyCutright.com. That's where you can go ahead and join the community. Subscribe. You'll get the link to join in. It's on the Group Me app. Say hi, and I hope to see you there, and I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know if it's going to be live or what's going to happen. Just bear with me. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.